Hello my dear friends, today we will discuss tests of significance or statistical hypothesis testing. Number of times we usually gather data from observational study or experiment, but it's statistical inference only which allows analysts to assess evidence in favor of some claim about the population from what that specific sample was drawn. So methods of inference are used to support or reject claims, that's nothing but the hypothesis, based on sample data. So from the knowledge of sampling distribution, it is possible to find the probability that a sample statistic would be similar to hypothetical value or not. This is exactly the question of significance. So to find out answer, test of significance is done. Exactly, test of significance is a procedure to assess the significance of a statistic or difference between two independent statistics. So we can say that the difference between a statistic and corresponding population parameter is there or not, or difference between two statistics is there or not. So two questions arise from any hypothesized relationship between two variables. First, what is the probability that the relationship exists? Then another one is how strong is the relationship. So for that usually we use two tools. First one is test for statistical significance. Another one is measures of association. So tests for statistical significance are used to know whether it is probability that relationship between two variables is really just a chance of occurrence. Suppose if many samples from the populations are collected, then still only chances of occurrence can be taught, or it is different matter that chances of occurrence may be more. It is not only different till complete census is done. It means it depends upon the predictions or mathematical model of predictions to find the differences between the populations. So we are using tests for statistical significance that suggests about the probability of relationship. It will further details about chances of error, because we can never be completely 100% certain that a relationship exists between two variables. There are too many sources of error to be controlled, like sampling error, research bias, problems with reliability and validity, simply mistakes, a number of these things are there. So we go with statistical inference. You can see here statistical inference. How we proceed: first is estimation of population value or testing of hypothesis. Another one, estimation of population value, you can just see that can be for point estimation as well as range estimation. Point estimation is nothing but the mean of population. Range estimation is related with confidence interval. So in statistic, we have to know about this, exactly what is point estimation, what is range estimation and all. So in statistic, point estimation means the process of finding an approximate value of some parameter as the mean of population from random samples of same population. Accuracy of any specific approximation is numbers of repetitions of finding. Then we have to go with interval estimate. An interval estimate can be defined as two numbers between which a population parameter lies. Like here you can see the two numbers are A and B. So here it is shown that mean, mu is the mean is greater than A but less than B. So this A less than mu less than B is an interval estimate of the population mean mu. It indicates that population mean is greater than A but less than B. Another point is there which is used for statistical inference is standard error. So statistically the standard error is an approximate standard deviation. Standard deviation we have discussed in measure of dispersion. Another video is there, you can see. So it is used to measure the accuracy with which a sample distribution represents a population. Actually a sample mean deviates from population mean. If such deviation is there, so such deviation is called as standard error of mean. The standard error of mean usually decreases as the number of data increases. That we have seen in case of normal distribution, that is there in one of the video. That as number of data is increasing, distribution is going more toward concentration, that was dancing towards the mean. So that is meaning over here. Another point is important while doing hypothesis testing, that confidence interval. It is a range of values within that unknown value of a parameter lies. Usually the confidence interval extends either side of the estimate by some multiple of the standard error. The two values define the interval is called as confidence limit. It means to say that if we want to say or we want to prove that any particular medicine is better than any other medicine, standard, whatever is there, that's going on already, or that's the established drug, or that's the less than that. So that we will see that we will do this in two-tailed test also. So a confidence interval is used to calculate the probability that a population parameter will fall between two set values. It measures the degree of uncertainty or certainty in a sampling method. Most frequently, confidence intervals reflect confidence levels of 95%, but sometimes 99% is also taken. Conventionally, we are taking 95%, that's accepted throughout the world. Like here you can see, the sample mean follows a normal distribution if the sample size is large. So properties of normal distribution is considered in sample mean over here. If we have taken 95% confidence interval with a point estimate 13.5 gram per dl for hemoglobin, with interval between 12.5 and 14.5 gram per dl, that you can see in this for normal distribution diagram is there. It means out of 100 samples if taken, the mean of 95 samples will fall between 12.5 gram per dl and 14.5 gram per dl. So 95% confidence interval for the mean is sample mean minus 1.96 into standard error mean to sample mean plus 1.96 into standard error mean. So that's the 95% confidence interval. We will see later how this 1.96 is coming over here. Another point is coming that's important in this case, the significance level. The significance level is probability of rejecting the null hypothesis. It is usually denoted by alpha. It is a value for a given hypothesis test for which a p-value is less than or equal to is considered as statistically significant. So typical values for the significance level are usually 0.1, 0.05 and 0.01. For example, if you see a significance level of 0.05 is there, what does it indicate exactly? It indicates a 5% or less risk of existence of difference when there is no actual difference. So when is no actual difference? That's in null hypothesis. There is no actual difference in mean of two populations. For example, a significance level of 0.05 indicates a 5% or less risk of existence of difference when there is no actual difference. If it is 0.01, then it indicates 1% or less risk of existence of difference when there is no actual difference. Usually what we find, if we add alpha value of significance level with confidence level, 1 is coming. That's a mandatory. So here in two-tailed test you can see, two-tailed means exact across the mean. That's the line is there, middle line. We have seen in case of normal distribution also. Alpha is divided in two parts. Exactly half of this is lying one side, another half is lying on another side. This is for 95%. So whatever is in color, both taken together is 5%. Means 2.5% this side, 2.5% on another side. 95% is in middle. That's the acceptance of null hypothesis zone. While overall 5% is lying in rejection of null hypothesis zone. So that's there. In two-tailed test, when we are taking, when we have to see whether it's lying below or higher, it's lower or greater, then we are taking two tails. But when if it is a matter of either side, like only one tail, means it's lying below only. So here you can see, if lying below, that's the first picture, and lying only above, that's 5%, or 1.645 is taken over here. That's for 95%. How that is coming, I will show you. You see it just here. So here you will find 95%. So 95% is exactly coming in this case of two-tailed. 0.4750 plus 0.4750. Each half is having 0.4750. Means both if you add, it will come 0.95. So that is there. And then what is the remaining over here? That's 0.025. So each half is 0.025, means if you add 0.05, that's the area beyond that Z value, G score. So here in this case you will also find that as G score is increasing, that area beyond that is decreasing. Means rejection of null hypothesis area, that is decreasing, or we can say the critical zone is decreasing. So that's important while dealing with this. So ultimately what we do in significance testing, that's nothing but the testing of hypothesis. First of all, we define the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis means no significant difference exists between means of specified populations. This indicates no effect, whereas alternative hypothesis suggests the difference between a specified population means shows certain effects. So the null hypothesis relates to population of interest rather than the sample. You can see here with example, like null hypothesis that we have seen in hypothesis. You can see another video with the details of that. H0 if we are denoting with this. Here smoking rates are the same in men and women in the population. That's the null hypothesis. Means there is no difference. Both are same. But alternative is there. That smoking rates are different in men and women in population. So we have to go through a statistical inference to find this. We have to test this hypothesis, which one is true. So for that, we derive confidence interval for difference, then we obtain the p-value. P-value that we have just seen, that the value of test statistic obtained from sample to the known distribution, that is used to obtain the p-value. This value is the probability of obtaining results. That's usually we are getting through calculations. Then we are using that p-value. The smaller the p-value, the greater the evidence against the null hypothesis. Just now we have seen in that table also. So conventionally, if p-value is less than 0.05, it means there is sufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis. In contrast, if p-value is equal to or greater than 0.05, it means that there is insufficient evidence to reject null hypothesis. These things you can see here. Here we have shown for 95% probability density function. So a value of test statistics shown in this area is giving p-value more than 0.05, while on either side you can see the p-value is 0.025. So a value of test statistic which gives p-value overall, that's less than 0.05 if on either side this is coming. This is exactly the hypothesis testing, what is used for statistical inference. The details of these things we will see with examples when we are dealing with every single statistical test. So that's enough for basic of test of significance. Thanks a lot. If you like this video, please subscribe this channel, like this video and share this video. We will cover with time the whole syllabus of research methodology and biostatistics. Thank you very much.